Alright, and here we go. We still start in the town of Jova in this town randomizer. It'll be a surprise where exactly they're at.
Those runners are selecting to go right into the shop to check it out, and it's an oak steak.
Not a bad item to start with, especially at that price point.
So we've got garlic. That's going to open up a couple checks later on. And kind of an expensive crystal there. It looks like we've got vanilla Jova location here, so...
Is this even randomized? Well, it looks like they're gonna both make their way to the next area and see what else is there.
Yeah, and this looks like a little bit better farm spot than the first town, but both runners look like they're going to try to get through this as fast as possible. Looks like we've got... This is another pretty good screen for farming. Looks like Two-Snack is thinking about sticking around here and picking up some parts. So
yeah, especially...
First day-night transition.
Yeah, I like this play from Two-Snack because the fire guys will drop big hearts. So, be very helpful to get to level 1.
I didn't quite catch what that first mansion was. It looked like maybe it was Rover Mansion in the starting town or the second town location.
I didn't catch it either. But either way, it looks like Kaelari's going to make his way back to Jova. Probably get the remainder of his items. We'll see if Two-Snack wants to do the same.
Yeah, Two-Snack did pick up that level up, so that'll give him a little bit more tankiness going forward. Kaelari probably pretty close as well. He's going to do a dedicated grind on the zombies, which is probably the easiest place to farm.
And yeah, that definitely looks like Rover. And that is a nasty enemy set at the start.
Yeah, those Medusa head enemies are relentless and getting bullied around a little bit. But he's going to make it through that first screen, it looks like.
Yeah, managed to not take a hit from that harpy, which would have definitely killed him. Those do a lot of contact damage.
Kaelari picking up level 1, so he's probably going to go do some shopping now. And Two-Snack going to be able to get both items here with the oak steak, as well as having a good amount of money right now. And he gets another oak steak, so not quite what he was looking for.
But that'll be good for him if he wants to continue on from here.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. He may just elect to use the warp feature and go right back to town. And there's an oak steak in town, so it's not that concerning going back and grabbing another oak steak from here. He takes a death at the top of the stairs. That was pretty hard to avoid right there.
Alright, looks like Kaelari is going to probably make his way to Rover now. May be good for Kaelari too, because I believe he went back and got the garlic, and Two-Snack doesn't have the garlic if he decides to proceed to the right.
Yeah, I don't know how much of an advantage it's going to be to have that garlic in hand, because I think Two Snack is probably going to head back to town anyway and pick up some of those items that he missed. But we'll see what he does.
Yeah, it just kind of depends.
Kaelari taking his first death. That doesn't really matter here unless you take a game over, in which case you lose all your experience and half your hearts. And yeah, that's a bust there for Two Snack. Silver Knife is not what he's looking for. That's probably the worst item in the whole game.
And looks like Kaelari's going to actually skip it, so that's going to definitely help him. The usual Fade Rover technique.
Yeah, but I don't think Fading Rover is quite as strong of a play when it's right out in the open here, in where normally the town of Varos would be, which is pretty accessible from the starting location. Whereas in Randomizer, it's way out of the way, and you have to go through 2 screens to get to it. So, I personally would have probably went right to Rover. It just didn't work out here for Two Snack. We've got Kaelari discovering the town of Elba and picks up a magic cross. That's one step closer to finishing the game.
Yeah, not quite what you want to see, but yeah, you definitely needed to complete the game.
Yeah, he doesn't have any items that can break blocks, so he's going to have to wait to see if anything else is in that town. I'm taking second death there, so I have to be a little bit careful. He's going to get a game over here.
Yeah, early game is pretty tough in any randomizer like this because you have different HP for enemies, and they do quite a bit of damage if you roll the wrong set of enemies. So it can be really easy to take a lot of deaths early.
Yeah, getting that second level up before the game over can be a big deal, and looks like Kaelari is in danger of not getting it. And we are into a level 2 zone here, so he is gaining experience right now. You can only gain experience off of enemies that are higher level than you. So being level 2, he'll being level 1, he'll get experience off of level 2 enemies. And that is the game over.
And that's not the worst spot to take a death because he just started getting level 2 experience, so he really didn't lose a whole lot.
Two Snack, meanwhile, I think has a pretty decent amount of experience, so he is probably going to want to hang on to that. He does heal up the town. I think he went back to the start. Yeah, he went back to the start, so he's going to pick up the items that he missed earlier. And at least spending his money there. Kaelari recognizing it's Bodley Mansion, which you can't do anything with, really. Technically, you can do a trick that lets you get to the vendor there, but that's really difficult. Probably not worth even trying.
Yeah, I think Freeland is the only one who does that trick.
I think Sathrash pulled it off in one of the tournaments, but yeah, it's not somebody that many people go for.
And I didn't see what he got from the garlic vendor right there.
Yeah, I missed it too. I was looking at Two Snack's screen, so I'm not sure.
Kaelari accidentally dropping some garlic, so he'll have to pick up another set when he gets back to Jova.
Kind of, yeah. I think he's going to go back and buy some right now. He doesn't really want to be over on that side without garlic. You don't want to have to visit the garlic NPC twice if you don't have to. That's going to cost him a little bit of time, but not too much. I think this is a smart play going back and getting it right now.
And it looks like he's going to make his way left now, so looks like he's going to skip Rover for right now. He may be waiting until he gets holy water and check it later, so he can do a wrong warp. Got a lot of time off.
Yeah, and that could end up working out for him if he ends up not going over there at all. Yeah, a little bit of a tough swamp here. This is not going to be easy to get across. That skull has a lot of HP.
Yeah, he might have to hang out until daytime, collect some hearts.
He might be going back on the Rover, hoping maybe he can get some offense, which he's not going to really find any.
Yeah, unless you like silver knives for some reason. Oh, okay, he picked up the nail, though, so he could be heading back to Alba. That must have been the garlic check.
Okay, yeah, the nail is actually a big thing because it does open up a few checks. He'll also be able to check those clues you were talking about earlier in Overmansion, so that might be helpful to him as well. Two Snack dealing with that mummy, and he's being very careful there because those mummies do a lot of damage, especially if you are only level 1, which is where Two Snack is right now.
Yeah, the graveyard enemies are probably the worst ones as far as contact damage. But yep, Two Snack will pick up his nail, and... oh, okay, yeah, he's going to play Bodley.
Yeah, with the nail, he can elect to go into Bodley. He can now break blocks, which will give him access to both checks here. He does have an Oak Stake as well.
Which makes me wonder why Kaelari didn't do that, since he had the Oak Stake right there.
Yeah, that is a bit of a head-scratcher. A little tricky here, trying to break these blocks with just the leather whip and the nail. Does it nicely, though. It's not something you'd have to deal with in the vanilla game, as you normally get the nail in this mansion in the regular game.
Definitely a curious move by Two Snack, though, heading directly for the orb.
He may be hoping he can get some offense here to deal with the enemies on the stairs. Although, if he went to the top, there might be some good enemies to farm a level on, so this is kind of a little bit of a gamble either way. Gets laurels, that could be helpful. He does elect to warp out and not go for the other check, which is interesting. So that could cost him if he has to go back there. But we'll see about that. We probably won't know about that until way later. Or maybe he didn't have an... I thought he did buy another Oak Stake, though. Oh, he does not going to need an Oak Stake for the vendor, so... I'll have to see. Maybe he's just going to Let's try to skip that check completely.
Yeah, it is the longest mansion in the game. So you could be hoping to save some time. Now we'll see how Tooseneck gets to deal with the swamp over here.
He did pick up those laurels, so maybe he'll make use of those.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
A little surprised he took a death there with the laurels in the pocket. He does use a laurel, which I think is a smart play. I think that's about as good of a place as you can use a laurel. The laurels grant your character invincibility for a few seconds, and very useful in the randomizer for getting across tough places. And he pops the other one there, so getting across the river, which that looked like a pretty nasty river, so that basically a free ride across the ferry.
And it looks like we have the town of Ondol.
Yeah, and having the nail, he's going to have access to 2 checks here. He's going to get the open check. Or no, this isn't Ondol. This is actually Algebra.
Oh, yeah, okay.
2 towns look pretty similar at night. He does get a whip upgrade. That's from the free vendor.
Yeah, that could help him. There tends to be some pretty decent farming to the left of here for the most part.
And there are 2 more checks in Algebra, but both of them require the holy water, so that's going to have to wait until later. And Kaelari going to get the bad news that only the silver knife is there.
Thank you for that raid, Grandius. Welcome in, everyone. Ooh, yeah, this is looking like prime farming for Tooseneck right here.
Needs to be careful, though. Those harpies hit really hard, but looks like he's going to look for that level 2 level up, which will be pretty useful. And there he gets it. So that, as you can see there, his max HP increases. And he also gets a health refill. And his damage reduction goes up to 50%.
Berkeley Mansion. He'll be able to get everything here and check all the clues. Meanwhile, Kaelari's making the walk out of Rover Mansion. Looking like he's probably going to take on Bodley. As well as get that check in Alba.
You'll also be able to check the area where the Sacred Flame is. That's probably where he's going to next. The Sacred Flame is in a hidden block in the vanilla version, but random item in the randomizer. And I don't think Tooseneck made that check unless I missed it.
No, it doesn't look like he's interested in that clue at all. It is a little bit out of the way. And he does have 2 other checks he can make for clues.
Yeah, and I feel like the value of clues goes down a little bit in the town randomizer just because you don't know exactly where everything is. So getting a clue that an item is in a certain location only tells you what town it's in, but not where that town is. So not as useful. Whereas in the vanilla randomizer, you know exactly where every town and mansion is on the map.
Ooh, in the heart. And blue crystal on Kaelari's side, so he can check where Rover would normally be.
Yeah, that could be a big find for Kaelari. I think he was a little bit behind before he saw that item.
Yeah, he could be ahead here now. So we know there's a whip for sale in Alba.
We don't know which vendor it is. There actually are two vendors in Alba. And two snack picking up an oak steak for an oak steak. So basically a nothing check there. And Kaelari are going to check out the Rover Mansion area. So we'll see what's over there. We're kind of running out of towns to check.
Yeah, I definitely feel like there must be a good progression item around where Brahms would normally be. Okay. So Kaelari can do one check here. To be the town of Veros. Ooh, that is not helpful.
Yeah, the Sacred Flame, a sub-weapon that's situationally useful, but it's definitely not what he was looking for there. It's not a progression item.
Yeah, Kaelari was hoping for a decent level 2 farm there, but those zombies have way too much HP.
Yeah, it looks like they rolled up on hit points, and considering he still only has the leather whip, that's going to take really too long to farm.
And really, in Randomizer, that's not my favorite town to farm in, with all the townspeople wandering about.
Yeah, if you can get them to move out of the way, it can be a pretty good farm, but that's not a good situation to farm, so he's going to head out of there.
Two Snack making his way over to the Graveyard Duck. But unfortunately, it looks like it would be a vanilla blob boost. Oh, wait, nope, we have Steve, our resident favorite Skullhead.
The Skull, one of the better enemies to boost off of for the Graveyard boost, or the blob boost is sometimes called, as the seeking behavior kind of makes it easy to get a boost off of that enemy.
Yeah, I would definitely put it in the A tier category. S tier being the werewolf. Iron Ball, so that is progression.
And Two Snack electing not to go for the boosts, at least not yet. Or maybe he'll try to clear out all these enemies. Oh, he's getting rid of the garlic. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. He's going to end up warping back anyway, so that's definitely a good spot to try to boost right now.
Just missing that boost. There he gets it. Nicely done. Got it. Vanilla blob boost there. And finds a dead-end town. That is Yomi. That is the only town in the game with no checks, so that was a bust. But it didn't take him that long, so I don't think he lost too much there.
Interesting on Kaelari's side that he's still avoiding going into Bodley.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the plan was there. He seems like he's kind of wandered around a little bit over the last couple of minutes without really much of a plan.
And Kaelari really needs to get himself to level 2. He's taken a lot of deaths.
Yeah, that could really hurt him if there's an item that he's going to miss because he doesn't have enough hearts. And Two Snack going into the lake and taking a game over there.
Not too detrimental for him since he got level 2.
Oh, some laurels for Kaelari. Not the most useless item, but it's not progression either.
Yep, and Two Snack will be getting that news right about now.
He does snap up 4 laurels, so I don't think he minded that too much. Kaelari using his laurels to get across the swamp, so that swamp was really tricky without laurels, so that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, it looks like Two Snack's going to follow the progression over to where Brahms would normally be. I'm thinking it either has to be holy water or red crystal.
Yeah, really nice job there by Kaelari to get across the river without using a laurel. So he has 1 left. Kaelari not realizing what town he's in, I think. I think he thought the same thing we did, which was that it was Ondel, but it's actually Algebra. The door looks very similar in both the towns, but the Algebra check requires holy water, where the Ondel check only requires a nail.
And it looks like we have a vanilla Brahms mansion.
Just not going to grab the 3 check over here, where the diamond normally is. This check a little bit out of the way, but it can often have something really valuable, so it's usually worth going for.
Yeah, and you definitely don't want to skip this check and end up having to go back. It's a pretty big time sink. Yeah, where there's a red crystal.
Yeah, another required item there. I think, was that just the blue crystal for Two Snack?
Yeah, I don't think he picked up the Sacred Flame check yet.
Right, so he'll have to go back there at some point because he's going to need that item. You need all 3 crystals as well as the 5 Dracula body parts and the Morning Star to be able to access the final area. So a total of 9 required items. And then the holy water is often required, but not always.
But if he does find the holy water over here, that's going to be really helpful for as far as routing goes, because he can clear a lot of checks on that right side without having to go back over there again. Spiders on stairs are not fun to have.
Yeah, that can always be a big detriment to progress. At least in Berkeley Mansion, they tend to have low HP though. This is normally the first mansion in vanilla, so the enemies here have a little bit lower health than some of the other mansions.
Yeah, I believe the highest they can roll would be 3 HP.
Kaelari picking up his heart, so he'll have access to where Two-Snack is right now.
And Two-Snack had a little trouble with the mummy and the plant over there, but he's through.
Nice floor drop there.
Okay, you can... So far, the seed's been pretty vanilla. And that is a great clue.
Right, Two-Snack just learning that holy water is a free check in the location where the flame whip is in the vanilla game. That's right after taking the tornado warp with the red crystal. I didn't see what that orb was.
I missed it as well.
Two-Snack probably right now thinking that he needs that red crystal and he's trying to figure out where it is.
Right now he's fighting death, which can be a little tricky if you have leather whip or thorn whip only, but he has the laurels to deal with it.
Yeah, making use of those laurels, not too tough for him. Gets some more garlic, not what he was looking for.
So now pretty much he has to go traverse the right side again.
He's probably going through his head right now and trying to remember what he's missed, because he knows there has to be something. There has to be a check on this right side that has the red crystal for him.
Yeah, and that's kind of the tough thing with the town randomizer. It gets a little difficult trying to remember where you've been exactly and what's remaining.
And Kaelari looking like he's going to try to pick up his level 2 here, which is probably a good idea. Pretty late in the seed to be getting level 2, but better late than never.
Yeah, level 2 and Chain Whip are kind of like minimum of where you want to be. Otherwise, you're either taking too many hits to kill things, or you're just getting...
Oh no, he took a game over. He lost all that experience. Not sure how much he had, but I think it was a significant amount. He looked like he was trying to get that level before he died.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. And it's hard to want to stand there and spend more time getting that level.
And a game over for Two-Snack, not quite as punishing because he doesn't really necessarily have to buy something right away. a little bit of time to build up those hearts again. He does have level 2, so he should be able to last a little bit of while and this continue.
Yeah, and when he gets to the Sacred Flame check and gets the red crystal, he may work directly back.
And Kaelari going to check this graveyard, which has the graveyard duck, which is kind of an inside joke by the Randomizer's developer, Blood, Sweat, and Code. References one of the weird hints to the game that talks about a graveyard duck. So he, as an Easter egg, he changed the sprite for this NPC to a duck. Okay, Two Snack does remember that he hasn't done this check yet, so he's going to pick up his red crystal. And Kaelari picking up the eyeball.
And now Kaelari's going to do the boost, and he's going to get the bad news that it's just Yomi. There is a nice person there that wants you to live with them, but other than that, not really worth.
I think both runners even on items right now.
Yeah, I think Two Snack's just a little bit ahead because of his routing choices.
Yeah, but I think he's gonna get an empty item here, or an empty check here. He hasn't checked the this area over here, but there's nothing he can get that's useful. He doesn't have the holy water yet, so you'll only be able to check the first check, which I believe is the Sacred Flame, which is not a particularly useful item. So I would say Kaelari is actually a little bit ahead right now.
Yeah, you might be right, because... Two Snack's already making his way over to the tornado location.
Kaelari uses the Laurel to get safely across the river. Oh, right. Kaelari hasn't checked over here yet, so this is going to actually cost him a little bit of time. Well, quite a bit of time, actually. So I take that back. Two Snack is actually pretty far ahead.
And this is starting to shape up to be a potential trolley water seed. Have to go all the way across the tornado and possibly go back to the Alba check and see what's there with the Veros check, Algebra.
This could also be a seed where holy water is not required. And a lot of times when you see holy water fairly late in a seed like this, it isn't required. Although I think Two Snack will probably just pick it up anyway, since it's not that far out of the way. Okay, he needs to make sure he kills this Medusa head. Okay, good. You can actually soft lock the game if you get hit by an enemy while in the tornado. Unless that got fixed, which maybe it did, but for a while it could be a soft lock, which would basically automatically lose you the game.
Yeah, to my knowledge, it's still a soft lock.
And this is actually Ondel, so 2 checks here for Two Snack. And he needs 2 items.
Yeah, just the rib and the ring, and he's in go mode. Let's see, diamond, another yet useless item.
We haven't really seen a whole lot of whip upgrades so far in the seed, so there's probably a few outstanding. I would beg to guess that there are probably a few of those checks that are hidden behind the holy water probably have some whip upgrades. So maybe we might actually see a seed that finishes with a thorn whip here.
Yeah, we do know that the holy water check in Alba is the whip, because the other check was laurels. And there's the ring, so one more item for Two Snack.
Let's see if he gambles and tries to skip the holy water here.
Honestly, I think that would be the play, because you should have Laruba over here, which is 4 checks, and then Doina, which is 1 more check.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to skip that holy water, which is interesting. A little bit of a gamble, but if it pays off, he's going to have a pretty quick finish here. Although killing Dracula could be a little bit tricky with no holy water, no dagger, and a thorn whip. That is a challenge. So something to keep in mind. That's not a lot of offense to fight Dracula.
Yeah, that's definitely a scary fight. So we do have Laruba. There is a chance he could pick up some offense in here as well.
Yeah, and it's pretty likely that he's going to pick up something useful that'll help him against Dracula.
But this is definitely a sketchy mansion to go into at level 2 with Thorn Whip.
Yeah, the game is originally designed for you to go into this mansion with pretty much endgame gear, fully upgraded whip, and at least level 2, maybe even level 3 at this point. And Kaelari using the Garlic kill on Death. Pretty slow kill, but very safe. So he's going to lose a bit of time here, but he's going to have the peace of mind that he can just hang out and wait and not get hit here.
Yeah, he could go to the restroom, do his taxes.
Yeah, you see every time that Death flashes there, he's only taking 1 point of damage. So this does take quite a bit of time. Oak steak, not useful. And
Yeah.
Kaelari just gets garlic from death.
Noticed oak steaks in quite a few vanilla spots.
Just not going to fill up on laurels there, so he doesn't mind that too much, but he would have rather seen the last item he needs. I'm really curious if he decides to go, if he gets the item here, because it's going to be really tricky to finish the game with the offense he has right now.
Yeah, and if it's not in here... Okay, well, he did pick up a very useful item to kill Carmilla at least, otherwise that was going to be another slow fight.
Yeah, it'll still be pretty slow, but this is going to let him stun lock this boss, so this will be a little bit quicker than it would have been otherwise. And 240 hit points. Each dagger hits 3 times for 2 hit points apiece, so this will take a little while.
And Kaelari's going to make his way over there now, too. I would say he's probably about 4 to 5 minutes behind Sneck right now.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good guess there.
But if he goes over the tornado and picks up the holy water first, and yeah, that might save Kaelari some time, because Sneck's got to walk all the way back.
Looks like Sneck's going to go over and do a full fill on the laurels. With that silk bag, now he's able to carry 8 laurels instead of just 4. And that vendor over there gives him as many free laurels and enough to fill his bags. So we still could be very close to a finish here, or we could have a little while to go. It depends on where that last item is.
Sneck could still luck out and find that rib over in Doina.
That's only 1 check left, so the percentages are starting to turn out that it's very unlikely that last item is going to be over there.
Yeah, it's likely going to be holy water blocked. But for anyone in chat who's interested in trying this out, I posted the link to the Randomizer website in chat. All you need is a US ROM of Simon's Quest, and you can create as many seeds as you want. It's definitely worth checking out. It's very fun.
Kaelari at 49 minutes in finally gets level 2. Probably relieved to see that.
Yeah. And then I just had an interesting thought. What about the oddly merchant check that was skipped by both runners?
Yeah, we haven't seen that check yet. So it's possible that last item could be in there.
So yeah, it looks like Two Snack will run over and check Doina. As he crosses the Bridge of Doom. This is definitely a good spot to have laurels.
You know, I wonder if he remembered that he needs to check that Flame Whip for the Holy Water.
Yeah, I'm wondering myself.
Would be kind of tragic. In my matchup against him, I actually forgot to do that check, and that cost me the match against him. So it would be a little bit poetic if he had the same thing happen to him.
Yeah, if Kaelari goes over and gets that right now, that's gonna definitely put him back in this.
Of course, that last item could be right here in Doina. We'll see momentarily.
Nope, just some laurels, so... that rib has to be somewhere on the right side of the map.
Now, Kaelari one check away from winning. Or one item away from winning.
So yeah, it looks like Two Snack will be making that walk over to get the holy water now. And yep, Kaelari's going to go get it right now, so I feel like actually he would be possibly close to, if not in the lead.
Yeah, he's definitely closed the gap with Two Snack having that gamble not pay off. Now, if Kaelari decides to go back and start checking holy water locations, I think that actually would put him in the lead, because we know that the checks that Two Snack has done did not have any items that he needed.
No, it looks like he's going to go over and check Laruba and Doina.
I mean, you can't really blame him for checking Laruba.
Yeah,
There's 4 checks there. So I think Two Snack probably still a little bit in the lead. It's not as big of a lead as it was a few minutes ago, but I think he's probably still a couple minutes ahead right now. Especially if Kaelari full clears Laruba. So we know by process of elimination there are 5 checks left that we haven't seen. 3 of those have whip upgrades. We know one of those is the elbow whip upgrade from the clue. One of those is going to be the dagger. And then the last one, I believe, is the item that they need, which is, what's that, the rib?
yes.
And Kaelari getting bullied by that spider. This has been a pretty tough seed. both runners have had the Thorn Whip for most of the seed, which is not really a lot of offense. We haven't seen the Dagger, which is a pretty useful item, especially if you don't have a lot of whip upgrades. So combat-wise, this has been a really tough seed. Also routing-wise, it's been pretty tough.
Yeah, anytime you get the Holy Water late game and the last time you need Holy Water lock, that's not optimal.
Now, it is still possible that that last item isn't actually a Holy Water lock, but we'll see about that.
Yeah, if that happens, Two-Snack might be kicking himself, not knowing where Kaelari is right now.
I have to imagine both runners think they're behind right now. Well, really, this is just a pretty slow seed.
So yeah, Two-Snack will be getting his whip upgrade here. I don't think he recalls the clue from earlier.
Although, honestly, I don't think he minds that much getting a whip.
Yeah, that too.
And Kaelari gonna find out that there's not really anything here pretty soon.
And I think Kaelari's best bet, would be to finish this mansion and warp out, and not gamble on the Doina check. Especially if he warps back and checks left side first. Oh, and Two-Snack's heading that way right now. And he's got the 2 algebra checks. There's the Holy Water Veros check and Bodily Merchant.
And maybe this is where you start to metagame a little bit and think, well, if I haven't lost yet, the last item is probably somewhere out of the way. But I mean, that's a tough call to make. Of course, our runners can't see what the other one is doing, but you can kind of make some inferences on how long the seed is going. You can maybe get the idea that an item is a little bit further away than it might normally be. And Kaelari getting that stun lock. Unfortunately, he's going to find out that this is not a useful item. Well, Silk Bag is useful, it's just not what he's looking for right now.
Yeah, Two-Snack getting a little bit of cash here. And it does look like Kaelari is going to go gamble on Doina. So at the moment, this is Two-Snacks to lose.
Yeah, I might think about warping out here, but I mean, that's kind of a tough call. Normally, you hate to leave a check hanging out there, but you don't know what it's gonna, where it's gonna be. Who's not getting the Morning Star? I don't know. I mean, you love to get the Morning Star. It's a big offense upgrade, but you need money to buy that last item. And you know the last item is going to be a vendor. And as it gets over an hour, you start to think, well, this, is Kaelari about to finish? Am I close to losing here? I don't want to be losing any more time than I have to. Of course, we know he's pretty far ahead, so this turns out to not be such a bad play.
Yeah, he's probably thinking about making Dracula a little easier without having to worry about trying to holy water crit. Oh, moment of truth here. If it's not here, Toosneck has another very long trip to make.
And another whip. He's going to pass on that one. I don't think he could afford it anyway, but yeah. He's out of money. So if that was the last item, he would not have been able to afford it.
Yeah, so now we're down to a 50-50. It's either in Veros or it's that mansion check in, or the merchant check in Bodley. And meanwhile, Kaelari's going to get the bad news in Doina that is not the item he's looking for.
Now we'll see where he goes first. If he picks the correct location, if Kaelari that is, he might still have a chance. And I wonder if Toosneck remembers that he didn't check the vendor in Bodley Mansion. That was a long time ago that he was into that mansion.
Yeah, and I'm not sure Kaelari went in there at all.
I think he poked in to see what it was and then noped out. And that was quite a while ago as well. I think actually Kaelari discovered that mansion first. That was well over a half an hour ago, though. We're picking up an oak stake because he doesn't know yet that oak stake or that orb in Bali doesn't have anything. So just to be safe, he picks that up. The oak stakes, of course, break the orbs. Each one of the orbs in the mansions has an item.
So yeah, two Sneck doing that last check in Varos, and then we'll see if he recalls or not, if he got that merchant check.
So we're down to 2 items. This is either going to be the vanilla dagger or it's going to be the rib.
And with how vanilla the seed has been, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a vanilla dagger.
Well, not exactly vanilla dagger.
Well,
it's
French vanilla. Oh. So now Two Sneck might be going into panic mode because he knows he deliberately skipped that check early in the seed.
And does he remember that that's a check he missed? We'll have to see. Looks like he has an inkling of where he needs to go. We're gonna find the whip upgrade here. He does buy that whip upgrade. Kaelari's only chance right here is the beeline to Bodley. He doesn't know it at this point, but that's what he's gonna have to do.
Yeah, and you would think he would still make a stop in Alba first.
There is some consideration taking that last because it's out of the way a little bit. But Two Sneck remembering to go to Bodley, so he's got a clear advantage here. Even if Kaelari goes directly to Bodley, he's going to have to find some way to catch up. We'll see if Kaelari goes to Bodley first or if he tries the other check down below. Two Sneck getting that floor drop. And he's going to be in go mode here momentarily, looks like. Yeah, Kaelari going down to Elbow first, so that's going to not be the place he needs to be. Both runners really, really wanted to fade this check in Bodley, but it's not going to happen. This is going to be where the last item is to finish the game.
Yep, and there we go. Go mode. Two Sneck's looking at about a 1:15 finish time.
Yeah, so if one of the runners had gambled on getting that check early, they probably would have gotten a big advantage of that. But both runners decided not to. So we're going to have a pretty slow seed. It was, no matter what they did, it was going to be slow.
Yeah, even if they did the check in the first place, they would still be having issues with Dracula at the end.
Yeah, that's true. And I believe technically holy water is not required for the seed.
Correct.
But both runners did elect to pick it up, so that makes sense.
Yeah, for those that are not super familiar with the speed run of this, the holy water casually would be required to enter Dracula's castle, but you can also use the nail by doing a floor drop and then breaking the blocks.
Okay, Two Snack making the final entry into Drax Castle, so he's got a straight shot there.
Yep.
So barring something crazy here, Two Snack's pretty much got this in hand.
Yeah, his NES would have to freeze or something in order for that to happen. Thank you for that raid. We're just finishing up this seed of Castlevania 2 Randomizer. And this time, I wanted to ask everyone to give these fantastic runners a follow, as well as my co-commentator Billick, who also plays Castlevania 2, Vanilla and Randomizer.
So it looks like Kaelari gonna go for that vendor first, so he's gonna be in go mode momentarily, but looks like it's gonna be a little bit short. Two Snake making some good use of that gold knife to get through the screen. And he takes a death there to get a health refill, which is probably a smart play, just in case he takes a hit on the last fight.
And we'll see how many floor drops Two Snack gets right here. Just
He gets
two.
a double. Double's pretty good. See if he goes for the backup triple. No, he's not going to go for the backup triple.
No, he's probably too worried he's behind.
Yeah, Kaelari is in go mode right now, so he can finish the game, but he needs to get all the way to the end of the game to be able to finish.
Alright, looks like he's going to go for the Holy Water crit.
Oh, he takes a death. That's interesting. Not really in danger of losing yet, but he's got to be very worried right now.
Yeah, if he goes for that again and takes another death, that... I don't think I could quite lose him the match at that point, but it's getting kind of hairy for him.
Yeah, he does have the gold knife, which is actually a pretty free kill. He elects to do that. Now going for the backup triple because why not? Doesn't get it. And both of these runners have to be thinking, how have I not lost yet? This has been a pretty rough seed. We'll see if Tusnek decides to use a different strategy here. That Holy Water kill can be pretty risky. He's got a few different weapons at his disposal here. Going for the straight up whip kill, which is pretty safe if you've got the good rhythm, which he does. And that's going to do it.
GG for Tusnek.
Yeah, pretty difficult seed here. So great job on our runners, both solving it. Kusnek finishing 118-17. Kaelari is basically done as well. The hard part is over. So it looks like he's going to finish up here. And had a really difficult seed in the first matchup against Big Daddy Drums. So Kaelari drawing two really tough seeds here in both of his matches. Picking up one win, and he's going to pick up a loss here. But nice job by him to be able to navigate both of those seeds. This seed is not a beginner-friendly seed, so great job by both our runners here tonight.
Yeah, this was one of the tougher seeds I've seen. Mostly because everything was very spread out. Although a little bit self-inflicted for not entering Bodley early when they had the nail right next to it. But still, definitely not a fun seed to play.
Yeah, the lack of whip upgrades early in the seed was another thing that contributed to being really tough.
While we're waiting for Kaelari to finish up, I'm going to drop that link to the randomizer one more time in chat. There are definitely some more beginner-friendly modes there. So definitely feel free to try it out and have some fun with it.
It's Kaelari looking to finish up here. We'll see what he uses to get the kill. Elects not to go for the floor drop. Just gonna take the glitchless way down, which is not that much slower unless you hit at least a double drop.
Yeah, I definitely don't go for any of those drops. Yeah, it looks like he'll do the golden dagger kill.
Yeah, this is a really safe kill because it stun locks Dracula.
Yeah, this and the Sacred Flame, albeit the Sacred Flame is slower, but a definite safe kill due to the stun lock.
A little surprised that neither runner went for the dagger kill. That's actually the fastest possible kill.
Did either of them purchase the dagger? I didn't notice.
Oh, they may not have actually, now that I think of it. Okay, GG's to both our runners.
Kaelari finishes at 122.27. And we will see if our runners join us for post-match interview.
Wouldn't blame them all that much if they were done after that seed. That's pretty draining.
Yeah. Okay, it's not looking like we're going to be joined. Any final thoughts on the seed, Billick?
Well, that's going to put 2-Stack to 3-0, and he will advance to the finals of the tournament. Kaelari's still alive. He's going to be facing me sometime this week, so I believe he will advance if he gets a win against me in their next game.
Oh, it looks like we have Kaelari. GG Kaelari. And here's 2-Snack. GG 2-Snack.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, holy crap, Kaelari. That seed was something.
2-Snack, how did you feel when you realized that the rib was at the check that you skipped at the beginning?
Yeah, that felt bad because I feel like at that point I'd made a series of bets once I got for the other side of the tornado, and I feel like I was just not connecting on any of the bets. And there, and I was like, okay, well, it either has to be at the chain whip vendor in Veros, or it has to be, at the vendor that I skipped in Bodley, which, of course felt bad. It wouldn't, it's like one of those things where, like, it was so early at the time, I didn't mind, kind of fading it, because Bodley can just be extremely brutal. I feel like in this tournament and every tournament, there's inevitably at least one race where somebody just gets completely hosed and Bodley trying to climb up the stairs, and I didn't want that to be me, so it felt bad, but I don't regret making the decision necessarily, because just getting knocked off the stairs over and over again, at least taking the bet and skipping it is kind of productive, whereas just sitting there and getting abused on the stairs when you're trying to get there too early doesn't feel very productive. I did feel really stupid skipping the Holy Water, though. I think that was a bad decision.
You missed the holy water?
I didn't miss it. I knew the last 2 checks were Laruba and Doina, or the last 2 location checks were Laruba and Doina. And the seed felt like such a jet seed at the beginning that I thought that we were both very close. Especially since Ando was right there with the ring, which I picked up in a clue. So I was like, oh, okay, I think I'm going to gamble here because I don't need the holy water to check Doina and Laruba. That's 5 checks. So 4 checks since we knew the Laurel's vendor had laurels. But after I got out of Laruba and didn't find anything, I was like, oh, I'm regretting that now because, the holy water is to go again. It's bad.
Any thoughts on that seed, Kaelari?
It was awful. I just could not stay alive in the beginning. It took me forever to get to level 2.
Yeah, that was one of those seeds.
I was gonna say, it looked like you were gonna finally get to level 2 at one point, and then you ended up taking a game over and had to just move on.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Well, thanks Billick and Frantic for doing commentary. I really appreciate it, guys. And Kaelari GG. I hope we get the race again in the finals. I think I advanced, right? That wasn't a super presumptuous thing to say. I advanced, I think.
Yeah. GG's, and thank you, everyone. It was fun. I can't wait to watch it now that it's over.
Yeah, good job, guys, both finishing that. That was not an easy seed, so GG's to both of our runners.
Yeah, GG.